history of Israel is the journey of a people, and their story has been unfolding for thousands of years. Through seasons of blessing and times of suffering, God has been speaking to the world through Israel's story, and their story is still being written. After World War II, Europe and the Mideast were a wasteland. The Jewish people who had survived were uprooted and scattered. Most could not return to their homes. In 1948, the modern state of Israel was born, and the Jews began to return to the Promised Land from the four corners of the earth. God had anticipated the reestablishment of Israel, and today we live in a time where we see the fulfillment of Scripture.
My people, I'm going to open your graves and bring you up from them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel, for I will take you out of the nations. I will gather you from all the countries and bring you back into your own land.
In spite of numerous wars and being surrounded by countries that repeatedly tried to destroy them, the Jewish state flourished. But there was a problem. Having been dispersed into the far reaches of the earth, many Jews were disconnected from the roots of their faith when they came to Israel. The crisis runs deepest within Israel's youth. As a young nation, nearly 28% of its population is under the age of 15, compared to about 16% in Western and developed countries. The need for strong values and moral character in leadership has never been more evident. People in Israel began to ask, how can we reconnect our future leaders with the roots of their faith? One of them was the mayor of Ariel, Israel. This led to what, at the time, looked like a most unlikely partnership. Through a seasonal student exchange program between Israeli and U.S. teens, the mayor of Ariel partnered with J.H. Ranch in California. They devised an ambitious plan to build an outdoor experiential leadership center modeled after the one in California that would reconnect Israelis with their cultural and biblical heritage. A great idea was born, but they still needed to decide where it would be in Israel. Jerusalem? Tel Aviv? Haifa? No, they decided to build it in Ariel, the capital city of Samaria, in the hills of Ephraim, near the site of the ancient city of Joshua.
There will be a day when watchmen cry out on the hills of Ephraim, "Come, let us go up to Zion, to the Lord our God."
Through a lot of hard work, generous giving, and perseverance, Israel's National Leadership Center was born. J.H. Israel has stepped into the unfolding history of modern Israel, offering a relevant and timely educational initiative that includes all races and religions: Jews, Muslims, Christians, and Druze. It's no small wonder that in 2017, the National Leadership Center reached a milestone of over 50,000 participants. The need for modern Israel to understand the historical and biblical heritage of its forefathers is paramount. In order to be strong, Israel must be strong in spirit. Only then can they begin to refocus the dynamics of national and personal identity, life purpose, and destiny in their next generations. Join J.H. Israel and the story that God is telling through this compelling partnership between Jews and Christians. Step into one of the most important leadership development initiatives of our time, as God restores the cultural biblical heritage and the identity of his chosen people, the Jews.